Hey everyone, my name is Olga and welcome back to my channel, and today we are gonna try a new eyeshadow palette from Danessa Myricks Lightworks VII. You're gonna see swatches, 5 looks with wear test, and we are gonna try all eyeshadows from this palette. So take a seat and let's go. First look, guys, and today I want to do something basic and I want to try this part. I'm not going to use all shades, but I will try to use 5 out of 6. I'm not sure whether I will draw a win today because I want to do something kind of simple, basic, and wins are not for everyone. If you're new to makeup, it's not going to be that easy. And we have 2 matte eyeshadows here. They are warm. I don't care about it. I'm happy that they are warm. And these 6 shades, they should work nicely together. You can easily combine all the shades. And as an option, you can use this shade as a crease shade. And you can apply, for instance, these 2 guys just simply all over your eyelids. And they should work perfectly. Let's go. Let's start from this beauty. It's not dusty on this side. I'm not gonna have an eyeshadow primer. I will use it only on this side. And starting from the base, and today I want to have slightly lifted look. Okay, guys. Quite pigmented. Shade is warm, that is expected. It looks exactly the same as in the pan. That's great. And it might be layered. Now let's try a mid-tone shade, and I will use it in my crease, and as well I will apply it a little bit over, at least leftovers. Starting from the crease, adding it in the crease and immediately blending these 2 guys together, checking whether it's doable. It's doable. Leftovers, applying a little bit above and blending everything into skin. And I think, and it seems to me that this shade contains a bit of olive even. Stunning. Blending these 2 guys together and moving everything out and up. And now it's time to try some shimmers. So we are gonna start from this one, but I'm not sure about this shade because it looks a little bit dark. It's soft, creamy, and guys, these shades, they shift. Adding it as a transition shade here. And actually you can do a nice smoky eyes with this shade. Beautiful. It contains a bit of purple glitters. Now let's try this beauty. I want to have it as a star today, and I will apply it in the center. This shade is beautiful, but it's a little bit more like oil, so it means that actually I grabbed way too much, and it's a mistake. Beautiful. Spreading and making sure that I don't have any big pieces, because if you're gonna have some, they can easily fall off while wearing. Moving a little bit closer to the inner corner and leftovers applying above my crease. This shade is just glittery. It has a bit of a base, but it's not that visible as here. Let's add this beauty in the inner corner. This shade is quite thin and silky. And you can use it as a transition shade, or as an option you can use it just simply. Oh, you're stunning. But I have a similar shade from Danessa, but it was more creamy. So you can use and you can apply this shade just simply all over your upper lid. No need to use it in the inner corner. I just wanna check it out, that's why I'm using it, but personally I would prefer using it on my upper lid. Moving to my lower lid, starting from the darkest shade I used and adding it closer to the outer corner. And connecting my upper lid with my lower lid. And leftovers moving to the inner corner. Adding dark brown near my lash line and pushing it between the lashes. First of all, applying it in between. In my waterline, applying a light olive. It's a makeup brand from Belarus, La Touche shade 19. Finished look. It looks quite simple, I do agree, but why not? May work for some daily needs. Currently on my lips I'm wearing these three products: lip liner from Kiko Milana, Lumiverse shade 6, lip gloss from, lipstick from NARS shade Dolce Vita, and lip gloss from Kiko Milana, limited edition, an advent calendar shade 1. And let's check out whether these guys shift or no. I don't really remember well. I remember that some other shades, especially from the purple side, they shift. These guys, they can shift a little bit, but not the same way as other shades. These two more I would say duochromes or even triochromes. These guys, they can shift, but it's not really that visible, and we just have different glitters here. First impressions, I'm impressed. My eyeshadows are great, easy to work with, easy to blend them together. You can mix them together, that's doable, and it's like easy breezy. And they are pigmented enough. Metallics are soft, creamy, you can easily apply them using brushes. No words, everything is great. This texture is stunning, and actually we have two shades in this texture. This texture is a little bit more like foil, and it's slightly flaky, so you should be careful while applying this shade. This shade is a nice metallic, it contains different glitters. It's a mix of purple with green. This shade contains green, dark golden shimmers, stunning, and they work perfectly together. This shade contains golden and light green, and these three, they work perfectly together, and they look beautiful. Cool. Yes, I do like this palette, at least right now. Now I'm gonna show you eye look closely, and we'll see each other in the evening. I have my makeup on today almost 9 hours, and let's check everything out. On this side I used an eyeshadow primer, on this side I haven't used it, and on this side eyeshadow started to crease right here, and on this side everything looks perfectly. I have some glitters right here on this side, and on this side everything looks perfectly as well. So yeah, I suspect that some shimmers can definitely fall off. I don't really have that many. Honestly, I don't really have that many, but yeah, some. And mainly right here and a little bit right here. My eyeshadows, they look great, no issues. Second look, and today I want to try this story and I want to draw a little bit. And I haven't decided yet whether I will use silver story or blue story, where I will mix some shades, and I'm clearly gonna draw something. That's the plan at least, and I will start from a liner, of course, and I will create my base using a pencil. This one from Inika, it's a little bit kind of gray, and Okay, awesome. Awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna use a waxy pencil for creating my base, because when you use such pencils, you have time for blending, and such pencils, they don't dry down. And that's great. In this case, I will start from a base line, from a base wing. It's gonna be quite long, but that's okay. And I wanna draw several wings today. So pulling it a little bit away. Now creating a basic wing. So connecting and filling in. I wanna do a second one. So one point, another one. And here we are. Do I really want to do it like this, or okay? Yep. Let's go. I'm gonna have a gap right here. So you're gonna go there and connecting here. Now I should clean everything. Okay, that's the plan. Moving this line. Okay. Connecting. And not quite sure that I like this part, but probably okay. It's always a little bit hard to do such looks fully equal. Adding a little bit of this beauty right here and blending. Time for eyeshadows, and of course today I'm gonna use these two beauties, starting from dark gray, and I will use it right here. Now I need something slightly bigger, and actually I want to try this beauty, but just a bit, taking off extra, and I will use it right here to blend this area a little bit, but just a bit. Where I want. No, it was a bad idea. It was a bad idea. Okay. Let's try the black one, and I will use black one for setting all these lines. Let's go. And of course I will blend it a little bit right here in this area. And actually let's do it immediately. Grabbing a brush that is slightly bigger, grabbing black, taking off extra. This shade is quite pigmented. And blending. It's easy to work with these matte eyeshadows. They are pigmented and they are blendable. That's stunning. If needed, I will clean up later on. Now let's try some shimmers, and I want to use blue. Blue, dark blue, light blue. These two beauties. This one I will wet closer to the inner corner, this one closer to the outer part. And let's probably start from the darkest shade. And of course I need something small to add this beauty right here. Okay, it's a little bit flaky, so you should carefully apply it. And it's quite pigmented actually. I would prefer applying a bit of matte eyeshadows before applying this beauty, because it's easier to push matte eyeshadows in such small gaps. It's not that easy. You should apply something before applying this beauty, because in person it looks a little bit patchy in some places. That's expected because the texture is more, it's foil. Actually it's foil. Now let's apply this beauty. This shade looks beautiful, but it's foil as well. And of course mixing these two guys together right here. Is it doable? it's not that doable, and this shade looks more even flaky. Okay, okay. Anyway, I will try to apply and I will try to mix. Of course, these two, they look beautiful, but it's a little bit tricky. Back to lower lid, back to my pencil, and okay, let's have something like this. I'm not gonna do a lot right here. Actually, that's it more or less. I will add something in my waterline, and maybe let's connect, because it's already kind of a lot and I don't really want to use more. Adding black near my lash line. Let's try to add a bit of silver in the gap right here. Maybe it's not really the greatest idea. Okay, adding just a bit. I have some shimmers in my eye. Back to black eyeshadows, and of course I have to set all my lines using black eyeshadows. In my waterline, adding bright blue from Gosh. Finished look. And of course I'm wearing false lashes today. And on my lips I have these two products, lip liner from NYX shade Mauve and a lip gloss from Fenty Beauty shade Frosty. And yeah, these shimmers, they look gorgeous, but they are a little bit tricky, and I had to clean up this area everywhere. Unfortunately, the shade, it's oily and it's not that easy to apply it, and it's not that easy to blend and add and to spread it. Ideally you should kind of apply it in the middle and do not touch. Otherwise some pieces, they can easily fall off and it's not that easy to remove them. And yeah, it looks beautiful, I do agree, but I would suggest it applying it in the middle and do not try to apply them right here ideally. And if I didn't test this palette today, I would use liquid eyeshadows before applying this to guys. I would use probably light blue, or here I would use dark blue or just simply blue, and closer to my inner corner I would use white or light blue, because it would, if I did it this way, it would be easier. But as we are testing, I think that it's not really fair to use liquid eyeshadows, and at least now I know that these shades are a little bit tricky. This one is flaky and it has lots of big glitters, lots of big pieces, and you have to kind of squeeze them. I would say you should put a little bit and you should drag. Otherwise these big pieces, they fall off so badly. And still, I like what I have currently on my eyes. These two toppers are stunning, but these two textures are kind of tricky. This shade is stunning, no issues at all. It's just simply glittery, quite easy to work with. It might be easily applied. Talking about matte eyeshadows, they're great, they're blendable, they're pigmented, you can layer them, you can mix them, and it's doable. Of course, we're gonna try them one more time, but yeah. Yeah. I like what I have currently on my eyes. I like how bright and beautiful these metallics are, but it wasn't that easy. It wasn't that easy, and I would say that it was even a little bit hard to apply some shimmers, especially this beautiful dark bright blue shade. It is what it is. Looks solid. Now I'm gonna show you eye look closely and we'll see each other in the evening. I have my makeup on today around 10 hours, and let's check everything out. First of all, I think that my eyes are a little bit red today, and I think that something is wrong. I don't know, maybe it's false lashes, maybe I have a kind of a reaction. Normally I don't have any reactions to eyeshadows, but today, honestly, I don't really know. I feel like this eye, it hurts a little bit. So I don't know what's going on. And it's clearly visible that my eyes are slightly red. Second thing, on this side, I used an eyeshadow primer, and eyeshadows glitters, they still creased. It seems to me that this foily eyeshadow, it's like it cracks a little bit when you apply it, and while wearing, same thing. I think that it's better to use it and to wear it over liquid eyeshadows, because otherwise something, I mean, they kind of crease, they crack, not really crease, they kind of crack a little bit, because it's like, they're foily, and you know, when you apply them, they look like foil, and this part, it cracks and creases. So I don't even know what's going on with these eyeshadows. They look beautiful, I do agree, but from the wearing point of view, everything is not really that great. I have some glitters right here, but I would say that they're more related to silvery eyeshadows and blue eyeshadows, despite the fact that they creased on both sides. They didn't really fall off, but they can easily fall off while being applied. Talking about matte eyeshadows, I have a kind of an issue right here, but it might be related to a pencil I used, so we will check it out one more time. But I don't know, I hope that I don't have a reaction, but something is wrong today. Third look, and today again I want to have some wings, and I want to try this part. These two shades, they shift, and actually they look similar, and they, you know, shift in a similar way from purple to green golden, but we have just simply different textures. That's why most likely I will use these two guys today, and closer to inner corner and outer corner I will use this beauty, and I will draw one line here and some basic wings, and these beauties are gonna be stars, our stars for today. And not sure whether I will try this shade today, most likely no. And I need a pencil, again, my beloved pencil, this one from Catrice, shade 40, for drawing a base. And actually, let's go starting from a base wing, from a baseline, connecting, and of course filling in. Time for a second one, middle. We'll go down here. This one is going to be parallel, and we'll finish probably, no, not here, a little bit lower. Okay, connecting, adding a bit more here, and of course I will blend this area. Of course I need a brush, and careful blending edges. Maybe I will blend, no I won't blend, it's enough. For now, moving to eyeshadows, and I'm gonna start this beauty using these two shades. Let's start probably from the lightest one, and I will start from this blended, slightly blended area, applying it over. Now I need a small tiny brush and adding this beauty, and of course blending the shade into the previous one and applying this dark shade over my lines, and of course over this part as well. Now let's try to have some fun, and let's add these beautiful shades in the middle. Let's start from the one that is more flaky, and actually we should be quite careful while applying this shade, because some pieces, they can easily fall off. And let's add this shade closer to the, it's the same as the one we tried yesterday. It looks beautiful, I do agree, but it's so hard to apply. Let's do following. Let's add this beauty as a base. I will add this one over this one, because it's easier to work with this shade and it's easier to apply it near the lines and so on. It's just more creamy and it has a thinner texture. So applying this beauty. Now let's add this beauty closer to the inner corner and closer to the outer part. This shade is gorgeous, no issues while grabbing and no issues while applying. And now let's add a bit more of this beauty in the center. And I decided to try a different brush that is kind of more, that is better pressed, I would say. Still looks flaky. It seems to me that it's better to, you know, to apply this shade as a topper. Not quite sure whether I like what I have currently on my eyes or no. Ideally, brown is like way too dark, too light for this look, and ideally, it's better to use black here. It's way better to use black here. So it seems to me that I will add black. Okay, now let's draw an inner part, but before, back to this beautiful light shade and adding it a bit on my lower lid and more to the inner part. And applying a light brown shade I used today on my lower lid. And drawing an inner line. And I still think that it's better to use black. Adding black pencil near my lash line. And let black add eyeshadows. I just think that it should work better with this dark metallics. So I'm applying black over brown. So making this brown darker. Now it looks clearly better. In my waterline, adding a pencil from Revolution in shade Stardust Gold. It's a duochrome. Finished look. And of course I'm wearing false lashes today. And I like these beautiful shimmers, these beautiful metallics, these beautiful duochromes. They look gorgeous, but I'm not a big fan of one texture. I truly don't really like it. And these eyeshadows, all shades, they shift. And it's quite visible in person that they shift, and I hope that it's visible on camera. I have a bigger mirror, and let's try to catch it. I truly hope that it was visible because I can't really see it right now on camera, whether it's visible or not, because I'm looking at this small monitor right now and I don't know whether it's visible or not. In person, it is visible, and even this beautiful shade, it shifts from a light pink to golden light green. And it looks stunning, and that's why this shade is located right here, and it works perfectly with these two shades, and it may work with these two guys as well. Impressions. I'm a big fan of these metallics, I'm a big fan of these duochromes, but I hate this formula. I'm so sorry, I do hate it. It's so hard to work with it. These flaky formulas, these foily formulas, this one is more flaky than this one. It's so hard to work with it. It's so hard to apply it. And when these flakes, these pieces fall off, if you don't remove them carefully, you kind of squeeze them and you have all these glitters with this base everywhere. And you have to use a foundation over for covering. It's so hard and it's so weird. Ideally, you should apply these shades using fingers. And you can't really, you know, apply them near the lines. It's just simply hard to do. This beauty is stunning. Others formulas are stunning. I'm obsessed. I'm in love. I like these matte shadows. It's easy to work with them. And I don't regret that I used a black one. It wasn't enough for such dark metallics. and you should always think about the whole picture. Currently on my lips I'm wearing these two products, e.l.f. shade Baddest Beige, and a lip oil, I think, no, it's a lip gloss from Rimmel shade, it's not written, is it? 500. By the way, it's stunning. It smells great, it feels great, texture is gorgeous and quite glossy, beautiful product to try. And yeah, kind of stunning. So bright, so shiny. Oh yes, great. But I hate this formula. I'm so sorry. I do hate this formula. It's so hard to work with it. Oh, that's sad. Anyway, now I'm gonna show you I look closely, and we'll see each other in the evening. I have my makeup on today around 9 hours, and let's check everything out. On this side I used an eyeshadow primer, on this side I haven't used it, and eyeshadow creased here, here, here. So it could be worse, could be worse, but still. And eyeshadow creased here as well, actually. Not the same way as here, but they did it. They clearly did it. I don't have any glitters right here. Everything looks great. My eyeshadows are perfect. And yep. I like these beautiful duochromes. They look stunning. Time for our fourth look, if I'm not mistaken. And today I wanna try to blend these two guys together, and I wanna do Hello Eyes, most likely, and I wanna try silver shades, and I wanna try golden shades, most likely these two. We haven't tried this one yet, and I will use Silver Story on my upper lid and Golden Story on my lower lid. That's the plan, at least. And maybe I will use this shade for blending the gray one, but I'm not quite sure about it, at least yet. Starting from gray, and I will create a base using the gray one. And okay, on this side I don't have any primers as usual. Starting from the outer part and layering this shade, adding it above the crease as well. Quite beautiful gray shade, but it's more, you know, contains blue, because some gray shades, they may contain a bit of pink. This one, it contains more blue as undertone. So it means that you can't really blend it into skin. You have to use something else. We're not having harsh lines, but the shade is beautiful, like it. So maybe I will use a powder for blending. Why not? Let's do it like this. And as well, adding it right here on my lower lid. Should I add it closer to the inner corner? Or... I'm not sure. I won't do it. Now I need a setting powder. I'm gonna use from e.l.f. I have shade So Fair Warm. And I will use this beautiful blending this area, taking off extra just in case. For making sure that I don't have any harsh lines. Now we are gonna add black, or we don't. Let's add black a little bit later on, because I will use black near my lash line. So let's try this beauty. I have tried this shade, now let's try this one. I will combine both and I will use both. And the thing is that they look quite similar, but we do have different textures here. So let's start from this one. This one looks quite flaky. And beautiful. But be careful while applying, because some glitters, shimmers, they can easily fall off, of course. And what's left, applying above my crease. Oh, it looks great. Like it. Let's add a bit more. Let's add this one. This one is more creamy and it's not that flaky, and it looks even more glittery, kind of. So I want to add it right here as an extra. This shade you can kind of layer over others because it's more creamy, just simply more creamy. Now let's add a bit of, it's a kind of a bronzy shade, but I will use it as a base for golden. And I add in this beauty right here on my lower lid as a base. And now let's try add these beauties, starting from dark golden shade, and actually it's a little bit cool tone golden. Adding it right here. Well, it can emphasize skin texture. Well, it's expected, actually. It is expected. Texture is nice, thin and silky. Beautiful. Now let's add this beauty. This one I will add closer to my inner corner shade. I like this formula so much. Awesome. Now let's add black. Pushing it between the lashes. And adding it a little bit on my lower lid right here. Till the pupil. And I will blend this beauty. Of course, and actually I should do it immediately because this shade, it dries down way too fast. Blending it a little bit. And as well, of course, adding it closer to my inner corner. Right here. Adding black near the lash line and closer to the outer corner and inner corner. Let's start from the inner part. Blending the shade into the previous one. Of course, if you want, you can keep everything as it is, but I do want to check how these two guys are blendable together. Awesome. Oh my gosh, this black is stunning. Reminds me of Bella Beauty Bar because it's creamy and pigmented. Adding right here. And I blend a little bit above my golden. And of course, adding it in my outer part. In my waterline, right here, adding was a limited edition from Kiko Milano shade Free Juicy Fizz. It's slightly golden. So adding it. Finished look. And currently on my lips I have this 3 products lip liner from NYX shade Mauve, lipstick from L'Oreal shade 601, and a lip gloss from Kiko Milano shade 1, limited edition from an advent calendar. Looks nice, looks nice. And today we've tried this beautiful silver glitters. I like them. It's easy to work with them. They're great. They're beautiful. This shade is more glittery. This one is more creamy and it looks more like metallic. This one looks more like a topper. And you can easily combine these two together. These guys, they are blendable. It's easy to work with them. They look great. These beauties are great as well. This shade is quite dark. It's more like cool tone golden. Still looks beautiful. Still I like what I have currently on my eyes. And yeah, great, nice. I like it. Nothing to add. Now I'm gonna show you I look closely and we'll see each other in the evening. I have my makeup on today around 13 hours and yes, I touched my inner corner here. On this side I used an eyeshadow primer and glitters didn't crease, they look perfectly. On this side, yes, glitters, they creased a little bit right here closer to the inner corner. And talking about glitters in my under eye area, I do have some, but not that many. My eyeshadows still look perfect. Glitters right here, they look perfect as well. Final look, guys, and today I want to do something simple using this part. We haven't tried with you only these 3 eyeshadows and I will try them. I will use this beauty as a crease shade and will add it closer to my outer corner as well. This one I'm gonna use as a base. This shade is kind of slightly flaky and foily, and at some point it reminds me of this one, but it seems to me that this one is a little bit better. We have less, the pieces are smaller, and at the same time it reminds me of this one. I will try to use it as a star, as a topper today, and that's the plan. And I will draw wings using this beauty from L'Oreal. Let's go. And starting from a matte shade, adding it in my crease, blending. Beautiful shade. It's a little bit cool tone, but it doesn't look purple. No, it's beautiful. So blending, and as well adding the shade closer to the outer corner, in the outer corner, and on my lower lid. Now let's try this beauty. Gonna add it fully all over my upper lid. It's a nice metallic, beautiful, basic. For some daily looks, it's perfect. But at the same time, it might be applied even as a topper, as the pieces are quite small. But be careful while applying this beauty, because some pieces, they can fall off, and I have quite many right here. Now let's try this beauty. Okay, let's try this brush. Yep, it's like foil, at least a little bit. So it means that we should be careful while applying. Adding in the center. The shade is stunning. In my inner corner, we'll add something light pink, and moving the shade to the lower lid and to the upper lid. Near the lash line, adding black pencil. Actually pushing it between the lashes. Now let's draw a wing using a pencil from L'Oreal shade 13. Do I wanna... Okay, let's do something more lifted today. Connecting. And of course, filling in. In my waterline, adding a light pink. Adding mascara from L'Oreal Paradise. Honestly, I don't really like what I have currently in my waterline, so as an extra, adding Revolution. Finished look. I like it. It looks basic, but I like it. And for some daily needs, well, not only for daily needs, because these glitters, they are kind of bright. You know, it's fine. It's fine. It's great. Currently on my lips, I have these two products, lip liner from Catrice shade 20 and lipstick from L'Oreal shade 191. And I should warn you that you should be extremely careful with this shade because it's foil, and I had some issues right here, so I grabbed a bit too much on my using my brush, and some pieces, they fell off, and it's hard to remove them. It's so hard to remove them. So yeah, these beauties, this shade is clearly quite long lasting, but be careful while applying it. It looks stunning, it looks beautiful. And if we compare, for instance, these two textures and this one is more foily and we have bigger pieces. This one, it's easier to squeeze, kind of squeeze these pieces, and it may look okay. If we talk about basic looks, this one still looks a little bit too foily. And yeah, actually these three shades, actually this one as well, this one is quite foily, but it's drier than this one. It's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. I tried all shades from this palette and I'm happy. I like this palette, but some shades are kind of tricky, and I clearly understand that it's not going to be that easy to work with them, and they do have some drawbacks, and we shouldn't deny it. Okay guys, now I'm gonna show you eye look closely, and we will see each other in the evening. I have my makeup on today, almost 13 hours actually, and let's check everything out. On this side I used an eyeshadow primer and this side looks perfectly, but I have some glitters right here. Some glitters, they fall off while I was doing my makeup, so that's expected. Some are new. So yes, this beautiful topper, I think that it can easily fall off. And on this side, eyeshadows creased a little bit right here, but not that badly. And in person, this look looks a bit too cool tone. So this area looks quite gray. And of course, we are gonna start our discussion from some basic information. This palette, this eyeshadow palette costs 167 euro normally, but I've just noticed that on Call Beauty this eyeshadow palette cost 159.45 euro, Beautylish 132 euro, maybe currently it's on sale or something. And yeah, so in some cases you can pay a little bit less. Talking about an official website, I have a discount code for Europe. You can grab all products with 10% discount, just in case for you to know. This beauty is made in not Italy, guys, not Italy, it's made in China. And when I noticed it, I was a little bit kind of shocked, because normally if we talk about such quite pricey eyeshadows, they are made in Italy, but this palette is made in China. And when you receive this beauty, it's quite well packed, and as an extra you receive this kind of a pocket where you can store the palette. And if you, in case you don't know, you can, instead of having this big palette, you can create a small one, and you can easily take out these parts, and that's why you can easily put the whole palette in this kind of a pocket or something. I like the idea, I like the way this eyeshadow palette looks like. And no, it's not my first eyeshadow palette from Danessa Myricks. I have this beauty, it was released 3 years ago or maybe a bit more. It's Lightwork Volume 3. It looks beautiful, and I like this eyeshadow palette. Here we have only duochromes, and as well we have several cream eyeshadows. And this palette is stunning, and I think that it's made in China as well. Let me quickly check it out. Designed in the USA, made in China. That's, you know, guys, that's a little bit sad. Yeah, still, these eyeshadows are great. I like them, and products that are made in China might be different. They may have poor quality, and they might be more high-end. And for more high-end quality, you have to pay. That's expected. Okay, guys, here in total we have 18 eyeshadows, and here we have quite many beautiful shimmers and glitters. But this time we have not only shimmers, not only metallics, we have as well several matte eyeshadows. In total we have 5 matte eyeshadows, and I'm impressed. They are great, they are not dusty, you can easily work with them, they are blendable, you can mix all shades together, you can easily mix these two guys, you can easily mix these two guys together. And they are pigmented. And my favorite shade probably is the black one, because it's not dusty and it's pigmented. And it's not that easy to do a nice black eyeshadow. Quite often they might be either way too pigmented and dusty, or not pigmented enough and not dusty. Here everything is okay, and that's great. That's stunning, and I'm impressed. And this shade is quite unique, and when you look at it, it looks a little bit pink, or like dark, slightly cool tone pink beige, but on skin it looks a little bit differently. It looks similar, but it looks more gray on skin. So if you have cool undertone, this shade is stunning, and you're gonna wear it daily. These two eyeshadows are warm. They're quite warm. This one is lighter, this one is darker, but it's warm brown, and mid-tone slightly warm brown. This one is more warmer than this one. This one even appears a little bit kind of neutral. Gray shade is quite good as well, but it's more gray with blue undertone, because gray might be different as well. It might be with blue undertone, or it might be a little bit pink. And in this case, you can easily mix such gray eyeshadows with pink shades. This guy is more cool tone and it contains a bit of blue. That's nice, especially knowing that it's located in this area, and you can easily combine it with these beautiful blue shades, metallics. We have different textures here. I would say that these two guys have more or less the same texture. They are creamy, and these two guys, they shift a little bit. So I would say that they are more duochromes. This shade, unfortunately, is the driest metallic shade we have here, and if you touch it and if you simultaneously touch some other shades, you would clearly notice it. It looks more like bronze golden with a bit of something green. Quite interesting, nice shade, but it can emphasize skin texture a little bit, so be careful with it. The next texture is stunning. It's creamy, thin, and duochromes have this texture. And actually these two guys, they have more or less the same texture, and they are stunning. They shift. This shade, it shifts from purple to green golden. This shade, it shifts from dark green to purple. It's kind of this shift here, it's not really that visible as here. Our next texture is quite basic, and actually we have only one shade in this particular formula. At the beginning I thought that these two guys, they have the same formula, but I was wrong. This one is more creamy. This one feels drier than this one, and this one you can wear as a topper actually, but it has a visible base. Next beauty, slightly foily, but lovely and creamy. These two guys and these two guys. So I would say that these four shades, they are kind of similar. And these two are more creamy than these two. And if we compare, for instance, this shade to this one, sorry, all shades, they are just simply way too different, and I have to explain everything. So this shade is more like a topper, and it's less creamy than this one. So this shade is drier than these two. With such foily textures, you have to be careful. But if you compare them to these three guys, they are kind of better, they are more creamy, and it's easier to work with them. But when you apply such shades, you should apply a little bit, and you kind of have to squeeze and have to spread these flakes, these pieces quite well, because otherwise some pieces, they can fall off a little bit. It's easier to work with this one and with this one than with this one. This one is a little bit tricky, but it's still not the trickiest here. My less favorite textures and my less favorite shades, these three. Explaining you why. This shade is quite dry if you compare it to some others, and it's flaky. It's quite flaky, and if you apply it incorrectly, you're gonna have lots of pieces in your under eye area, and if you don't kind of squeeze these flakes, if you don't spread them well, this shade doesn't look that beautiful. But it still looks beautiful, and it's still easier to work with this one than with these two guys. These two shades are foily. They look like foil on skin. From one side, yes, it may appear quite beautiful, but from the other side, these two shades, they emphasize skin texture so badly, and it's so hard to work with them. Ideally, you should apply these two shades using fingers, because when you use brushes, they are not getting applied that perfectly. And especially this shade. This shade, if you want to apply it near some lines, you have to be extremely careful, because this shade, it kind of creases just after application, and if you're gonna apply it above your crease, so if you want to apply it in your upper lid and a little bit above the crease, this shade, it creases, and some pieces, they can easily fall off. So this shade is extremely tricky. This one, it's easier with this one. It's not that flaky as this one, but still it's quite flaky. And if you're gonna apply it using a brush, you may have some issues, and some pieces, they can easily fall off. And the worst thing is that these big pieces, they can fall off, and you may have them on your lashes, and they can be, well, actually I had an issue and I had some pieces in my eyes, and it's not that easy to remove them, and it's not that easy to remove these two shades when they fall off. That's why I'm not really a big fan of them, but yes, they look beautiful, they look stunning. And honestly, when I tried these two shades, I was a little bit disappointed, especially when I applied them on eyelids. In the pants, they look so cute, they look so beautiful. On swatches, they look so good, they look so stunning. But on skin, they don't really look as good as on swatches. And that's why if you want to wear this shade, I suggest you applying it over this one for avoiding issues. And it's going to be just simply easier. This shade, it's better to apply it over something as well. Ideally, you can wear it as a part of smoky eyes, or you can apply it over liquid eyeshadows. And in this case, you shouldn't have any issues. And this shade, it shouldn't crease that badly, because it's like almost all these eyeshadows, especially the one that are, more creamy, they can crease, yes. But this one, it kind of cracks while wearing. Not only crease, it kind of cracks. These foily pieces, they crack. And it looks so weird in person and closely. So when I checked this shade in the evening, I was really disappointed. And it was so hard to apply it the way I wanted without any tricks. I know how to deal with these eyeshadows, I know. And next time I will wear them only and will apply them only over liquid eyeshadows. But until you try, you don't know. Talking about the shades, I like this color story. I like that we have slightly green and warm story here. I like that we have slightly cool tone story here and fully cool tone story here. And you can easily do some basic looks, and at the same time you can do something more complicated, something more colorful. And here we have different undertones, and we have even duochromes, and you don't have to think even which eyeshadows to combine and how to use them. Everything is spread perfectly. You can easily combine all these shades together. You can combine these shades together and these shades together, and that's stunning. And it's easy for people who are not that good at makeup, who are new to makeup, to grab a palette and to do a nice, beautiful look. We have some simple shades here that might be used for daily looks, and that's so great. Let's discuss all shades in details. Let's start probably from this part. This part is warm. I've already described your matte eyeshadow, so moving immediately to metallics. So this shade, it's a duochrome. It shifts from light green to golden, and it has even a bit of something blue, but just a little bit. It looks more golden on eyelids. This beauty I've described you as well. It's kind of beautiful, but it's basic. And it seems to me that here you can easily have a heart pan. This shade is basic, and it looks more cool tone golden on eyelids. This beauty is stunning. It's so creamy, and this shade is amazing. It's a mix of golden with a bit of burgundy and with green and light green shimmers. It looks so stunning on eyelids, and it looks at the same time like a topper, but it has a visible base. This shade is quite dark, and you can easily combine it with this one. And it contains a bit of purple, and it shifts even a little bit from dark green to purple, and it looks gorgeous actually. And it has a bit of burgundy, and depending on the look you're gonna do, it may appear more burgundy or it may appear more green. It depends on shades that you're gonna use nearby. This beauty, this part is fully, it's warm. It's more warm than neutral. This part is more neutral cool tone. I've described you the matte one, so moving on. These two shades, honestly, they look the same. They're just simply the same. They shift, and they shift from purple to golden green. We just simply have this shade in different textures. And that's it. So that's why you can easily combine these two guys together. The only thing that this shade contains a bit of golden than this one. This one contains a bit more green, but it's not really that visible in person and on eyelids. This shade is quite interesting, quite beautiful. It's cool tone pink. Yes, it's slightly pink, and it's a mix of light pink with a bit of gray. Interesting and beautiful shade. This beauty, it shifts a little bit from green, light green, to golden. And here we have more golden than here. This one, this shade looks more like light green. This one looks more like light golden with a bit of pink. And yes, this shade shifts, and it's visible in person. This beauty, foil. And it reminds me of this shade a little bit, but this shade looks more cool tone, and it looks more beige. Here we have more pink, here we have more beige, and a bit of something green, but it's like barely visible. And you can easily, again, combine all these shades together. Next beauty, next part, fully cool tone part, black, gray, we've discussed, silver. Here we have two silver shades, and they look similar. The truth is that they look similar, and on swatches they look similar, but we have different textures. Again, it's the same as here. This one is, as we've discussed already, this one is drier, this one is more creamy, and this one looks more like a taupe, this one looks more like a metallic. And these silver shades, they are slightly... They don't contain that much blue, and they look more kind of neutral, and at the same time, it appears that they have a bit of cool tone golden or something, if you know what I mean. We're gonna swatch these two shades to another silver eyeshadow that I have from Natasha Denona, and you're gonna see this difference. These beauties, bright blue, bright dark blue, nothing to add. This shade, it doesn't shift. This beauty is light blue with a bit of purple glitters. The shade is stunning, and you can easily wear it as a part of some basic daily looks, and it looks more like light blue than pink. Now let's do some swatches. I tried to find you some similar shades to show. I couldn't find that many, but still I could find some. And let's start probably from this palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And when I did my first look, I thought about this palette a little bit and about this shade. I didn't swatch them side by side, but color story, you know, looks kind of similar. And I quite often wear this palette. I like it. And this shade, it looks a little bit similar to a mix of these two, but not fully the same. But, you know, just wanted to share some thoughts about it. Next beauty, Natasha Denona Yucca palette. And I thought about this beautiful shade that is called Macchia. And when I, again, did my first look, I thought about this palette as well, because I did something similar using this palette from Natasha Denona. And it reminds me of this beauty. They're not fully the same. Yes, they aren't. And this shade looks a little bit more complicated, and this shade looks darker. But if you use similar shades, you may have a similar result. So that's why I thought about this palette, and actually I like it. If you need something green, I think that this palette is quite good. Next beauty. Yeah. Smolder palette from, what do we call this brand? We got Cosmic Brushes. Yeah. Here I have a palette that is called Allure, this one. And I thought about this beauty when I did my... I think that it was the last look or whatever, when I used this shade. On skin, on eyelids, they look quite similar. Our textures are the same? Not really. This one feels more creamy and this one feels more complicated. But in case of some looks, these two guys, they may look quite similar. Of course, it depends. Yes, I do agree. But in some cases, they may look quite similar. Talking about silver eyeshadows. Moving to silver eyeshadows. I thought immediately about Natasha Denona, of course, Xenon palette, and here we have a beautiful silver shade. And that's why I told you that these silver shades, they don't look that blue as here. And a silver shade from Natasha Denona contains more blue, while here, look at them side by side. They look more cool tone, not even cool tone. They look kind of darker if we compare. You know what I mean? I hope that you can see it. It seems like you can. And as well, I thought about a palette from Huda Beauty. Here we have a kind of a silver shade as well, but it's not the same as here. And again, we have different textures, and here we have more blue than here. But of course, you can do some similar looks. Are they going to be the same? Not really, but they are going to be quite close. Depends, of course, depends. And as well, I thought about this shade from Huda Beauty. And I thought about this beauty from Danessa Myricks. But this shade from Danessa Myricks looks more blue, while the shade from Huda Beauty, it looks more lilac and purple. So these two shades, they contain similar glitters. They shift a little bit, but they shift differently. And finally, on eyelids, they may look similar. They may look similar, again, depending on the look, but at the same time, they are not fully the same. And as well, it's the funniest thing, because I think that's funny but not funny. This palette from Danessa Myricks. Here we have a shade that is called Aurora. This one. And should I comment it somehow? They are the same. When I did swatches side by side, these shades, this one from this palette and this one, they are the same. They feel the same. It's the same texture, and these shades are fully identical. So if you have this palette from Danessa Myricks, you're gonna have a duplicate, several actually duplicated shades. Moreover, when I did some swatches, I thought about these beautiful single eyeshadows from Kika Milana and a new prismatic shift from Catrice. These beauties, they shift from burgundy, purple to green. And on swatches side by side, that it's visible that they are not fully the same. These two guys, they are more purple. Oh, sorry, not purple. They are more burgundy. While these shades, they look more purple. But if you want to save a little bit, and if you need a basic duochrome from purple to green, shade 20. It's limited. Currently, it's limited. Available only in Germany right now. I hope that it's going to be a part of their new launch 2026. They might be a part of a new launch. Just in case for you to know. And as well, back to this palette. The shade that is called Solar, it reminds me of this, if I'm not mistaken, of this one from Danessa Myricks. Well, they are both from Danessa Myricks, from Lightworks VII. They are not the same. They are not the same. This one looks more golden. This shade looks more kind of pink, and textures are not the same. This texture from this palette feels thicker. This texture feels thinner and kind of more glittery at the same time. I've told you everything what I wanted. And now it's time to share my thoughts about this palette. This palette is lovely, this palette is stunning, but I clearly don't like several textures from this palette. And I'm not gonna deny it, and I'm not gonna say that all eyeshadows from this palette are great. I like all of them. No, unfortunately, some shades are tricky from this palette, and it is what it is. We can't really deny it. But this palette, this color story is stunning, and I think that this idea is amazing. And we have quite much product here, and that's great. Can I really suggest you this palette? Yes. Do you really need it? It depends. It depends on your needs. Of course, you can try to grab it on sales, and you can catch it on sales, and I can fully understand it. And That's okay. That's okay. If you don't want to spend 160 euro, that's okay. I can fully get it and I can understand you. But this palette is nice. That's true, and I'm not going to deny it. Of course, you can try to find some single eyeshadows similar to these eyeshadows. Of course, I'm talking about duochromes. Unfortunately, I don't really have that many. I realized that I don't really have that many duochromes. That's sad. But yeah, as an option, you can try to check Glam Shop. It's a makeup brand from Poland. You can order single eyeshadows from Poland. Bernovich, it's a makeup brand from Belarus. You can order eyeshadows from Poland. And as well, I think, what do we call it? The Pastel Rose. It's an option as well, and I think that we can find some other single eyeshadows easily from different indie brands. But indie brands, they cost more. Glam Shop, Bernovich, they cost less. So it's an option. At least you can try some similar shades. So guys, let me know down below what you think about this new palette from Danessa Myricks. Do you like her products or no? Actually, I have quite many products from this brand and I like them, and my respect to the queen. I like her, and I like that she cares about what she does, and she has quite many beautiful and stunning products. That's stunning. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if yes, don't forget to put a thumbs up. And of course, consider subscribing. I wish you a pleasant day, and I hope to see you soon in the next video. Bye bye!